McStoppin and McSavin are two young goalkeeper twins with very different beginnings to their career. Both are excellent goalkeepers at just 15 years old, and McSavin was scouted by Manchester United's academy. However, his brother McStoppin wasn't so lucky, and he ended up in Indonesia with Persecute in the second tier. McSavin at Manchester United has a current ability of 80, but with a 200 maximum potential. However, his attributes have been randomised by the game. McStoppin back in Indonesia has a current ability of 89, again with that maximum potential of 200, and he is actually good enough to start for Persecute despite only being 15. So who will make the most out of their maximum potential to go on and have the better career? Now, the guy that's in Indonesia also has another disadvantage because right now Persecute doesn't even have a manager. Despite obviously starting the game on day one, they have no manager to begin with. So he has also got to overcome the fact that a new manager might come in and not even think that he is a starting goalkeeper. However, when you look at the other goalkeepers here, I mean, he'd be a fool not to. I noticed the other day as well that YouTube have a new feature where I can ask you to answer a quiz question or like a poll. So I think that's quite a good little thing here. We can put up at the end of this experiment who you think had a better career. You guys can decide. I am, however, very intrigued to see how quick McSavin these shots manages to get first team football at Manchester United. Given the fact that they don't necessarily have a good goalkeeper right now, will they bring one in before he is good enough to actually make the first team? Well, season number 1 was an interesting one because Siswanto was the new manager of Persecute. He came into the club at the start of the season and actually took them to a 3rd place finish. Wasn't good enough for promotion, however, but nonetheless, McStoppin these shots was playing games. 31 appearances already, which is great for a 15-year-old, and you can see the statistics are already there. In 22 league games, he only conceded 20 goals and he kept 8 clean sheets. He had also jumped up to a 98 current ability, jumping 9 from his 89 starting position. But McSavin these shots, his brother at Manchester United, is still in the Manchester United under-18s. However, he has also played quite a lot of games. The non-competitive thing that you'll see here is the under-18s games, and he played 28 of those games with 24 conceded and 12 clean sheets. He also played in the Virtue Trophy, which is kind of like where the under-21s of Manchester United will play against League 1 and League 2 sides. Only 1 game, conceded 2. However, there was also some growth for him. Being at Manchester United, he has some of the best training facilities around, and he already has gone up to a 95 current ability, sort of closing that gap between him and his brother, and his valuation is of course a lot higher. Ideally, if you're the manager of McSavin these shots and you're seeing how good potential he actually is, you're looking for a loan spell almost immediately. Get that guy out there, get him some first team football, despite obviously his growth being quite good anyway, while he's 15. As soon as he turns 16, let's get him out on loan somewhere. Another season with Persecute as their key goalkeeper. You can see a 1st place finish, a first trophy for him under Siswanto again. But McStoppin these shots, he is wanted, and it's by Chelsea. So already, despite me setting that his reputation was quite low, a Premier League club has come in for him. His world reputation is only 2,300, nowhere near where I'd expect to be picking up wanted signs by a Premier League club, but he's had a great season, and the development is of course already there. If Chelsea are scouting Indonesia, they're going to find a player like this standing out like a sore thumb. His brother, on the other hand, 16 years of age, still in the Manchester United under-18s, no loan spell, but again, some non-competitive games which will really tick over his development. 20 conceded in the 30 games that he played, 14 clean sheets. Somehow he came off the bench in one of those games, played again in the Virtue Cup trophy as well, and to be honest, the development does look quite good despite of course only playing youth football. He has gone up to 104 current ability, but that wanted sign by his brother name has me intrigued. Will he move quite early on into this little experiment, or will sort of he stay in Indonesia or the minor leagues in comparison to the big Premier League move? Well, interestingly, the following season Manchester United are currently looking for a new manager. So if we have a look at the club history and the manager history. They have had Ruben Amorim, who was sacked a couple of seasons, well, actually last season. Darren Fletcher came in as the caretaker, and then Antonio Conte has been the manager ever since, and unfortunately has lost his job there. But McSavin D's shots, how has he been doing at Manchester United? Because now he is 17 years of age. He is playing for the under-21s and the under-18s. So you can see he's in the under-18 squad, but he has been made available for the under-21s, which is a great sign. However, he has played loads of games of football, which is probably the reason why. 38 starts, 2 off the bench, 34 conceded with 20 clean sheets. It's a good sign when this is happening for a youngster because, of course, they are going to develop. And with it being a goalkeeper, you can never quite judge whether they're going to be playing at all because there's only one position on the pitch. 115 current ability, which is very good so far for a 17-year-old. But what about his brother? Well, he is at QPR. Not Chelsea, QPR. He made the move to QPR from Persico for just 34k. So the Chelsea interest must have been just a bluff. They never actually came in for him, and McStoppin these shots did eventually make a move to London, but it was with QPR instead of Chelsea. And unfortunately for him, he never actually played a single game of football, so I don't know whether this has only just happened, unless it's literally just happened seconds before we have loaded this through, but he has not yet played a single game. So milestones here, he signed for Queen's Park Rangers on the 11th of the 8th, 2027, the season before. So he did in fact move to QPR in the summer transfer window last year and has yet to feature even in the youth team. I love the stories that these experiments tell, because the current Manchester United manager who took over from Antonio Conte was Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason, which, to be honest, with the Manchester United board, kind of seems realistic because they do some crazy stuff. He did, however, win the first trophy for them in a long time, winning the FA Cup. So, I mean, how mad can I be? However, what he is overseeing, I'm kind of liking the look of it, because as we can see, McSavin these shots is currently out on loan at Wrexham. Annoyingly, it's in Wrexham's under-21, so he might not even be getting actually... I've just seen he is playing loads of football. Championship, 41 games, yes. Conceded 47, ugh. Clean sheets just 11, but yeah, very good. 2 in the FA Cup he conceded as well. Where did Wrexham finish? Now, I do have the league loaded, so we can kind of see they didn't finish bottom. That's great. 15th place. Plymouth Argyle finished bottom. That's not great. That's my hometown. But Wrexham finished in 15th place, so it's not too bad at all. Everton are down here. Leeds are down here. Some big clubs down here. They finished in 15th place. That's not bad for his development whatsoever. Playing championship football is the perfect scenario for a guy like McSavin D shots. So his current ability does look like it is shot up as well. 130 current ability, which is phenomenal. Very good. 130. Let's see if it's the same as his brother, who is currently at NK Dons, on loan from QPR. Again, a really good place for him to be if he's not going to get football in the Championship with QPR. Getting it League One football, playing 44 games League One football, and by the looks of it, playing more in total because of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Yeah, you can't be mad at that. 40 conceded, 16 clean sheets. Very good stuff from McStoppin these shots. So we are in a little bit of a race, but McStoppin these shots are still behind him in terms of the league. However, he has a higher current ability. QPR, what are you doing? Play the man. He is better than some of the goalkeepers in the league at just 18 years old. This is already heating up to be quite a race. Following season, though, it is all kicking off. They're both at new clubs, because McStoppin these shots made a £13 million move halfway through the season in the January window to Spurs. So that is quite impressive. He did play 28 games in the Championship for QPR before making that move. He finally has a big Premier League club come after him, and he looks really good for it. Hasn't necessarily played that many games in the Premier League, considering he moved in January, just the 6, but I think eventually he could maybe make himself a first-team goalkeeper, because the jump up to 157 current ability is pretty wild. If we're looking at the Spurs team right now, he has Mark Travers, Harvey Davies and Vicario to go ahead. However, Vicario at 33 is already leaving the club to join Inter Milan, so I would say he would probably be in there ahead of Mark Travers. His brother, however, is again at a championship club with Nottingham Forest from Manchester United on loan. Now, he did play loads of games of football again, 40 appearances, only conceded 36 goals, 16 clean sheets is very good for a Nottingham Forest side that finished first in the championship under Robbie Keane. So he has only gone to the champions of the championship and got them back into the Premier League. Very good stuff from him. And if we're looking at his profile as well, again, the development looks really solid. 19 years of age now, both of these twins. He's at 146, still some way behind his brother, who of course started in Indonesia. The battle is on in the Premier League the following season though. Spurs' first choice goalkeeper. Stopping these shots. He's even got the number 1 shirt, but he's only played 12 Premier League games. Still not quite sure why they haven't pulled the trigger yet, because he is clearly better than the other goalkeeper, but then they went and signed Restes, who, again, I still think he might be a better goalkeeper in the long run. 163 current ability, and if we're looking at stopping these shots, who of course was at 159 last season, is at 165, and yet he's played less football than Restes. No trophies won either, however, his brother, playing at Manchester United, has stayed at Manchester United and just played under 21s football this season. Non-competitive, just 19 games, 12 conceded, made 1 Premier League appearance where he did keep a clean sheet, but he was not trusted to carry on. We mentioned earlier about Manchester United being a hard club to get into if they sign a new goalkeeper, and they have only gone on and bought one of the best, Gregor Kobel, that you can get quite cheap on Football Manager. So, he is 33. He might be in with a shout of getting there 2 years into the future, but with Thomas Tuchel in the manager's job right now, I can't see him deciding to go with a young goalkeeper like saving these shots just yet. Finally, at 21, stopping these shots is the first team goalkeeper for proper this time round. Important player, and he has played all 38 Premier League games, only conceding 35, keeping 16 clean sheets, playing all of the games in the Champions League as well, and seems to have had a great season. The development is there. Restes came in, caused a bit of trouble, but he surpassed him. 183 current ability out of that maximum of 200 is very good, and Spurs still haven't managed to win anything, but they do have one of the best managers in the world in charge in Luis Enrique. His brother, though, saving these shots, is still not exactly the out and right number 1, but he has played way more than I expected. 23 Premier League appearances, 25 conceded with 10 clean sheets. Not too bad at all for Manchester United this season, under Eddie Howe of all managers. The competitions page, they haven't won anything either. So what happened goalkeeper-wise? Because Kobel has dropped off, only playing 15. saving these shots, if we're looking at his current ability, is 157. Which I would suggest Gregor Kobel is probably still above him. He looks like the better goalkeeper as well. He is only at 153. So despite looking like a better goalkeeper with the likes of 19 reflexes, I'm guessing that Eddie Howe is just going on the best overall player, which is the reason why saving these shots has picked up the most appearances this season. There's also a bit of competition going on between the two players for the national team spot, which is the reason why I made them both the same nationality and both twins, because they're both English, which of course that goalkeeper position, yeah, they're both wrestling over it. So, saving these shots has played 4 caps for England, and I would say he looks really good. I mean, the aerial reach 20, he is 6 foot. So I made them both absolute monsters. He's left-footed, but you can see mentally he is quite good. Now, attribute-wise, he's still at Manchester United. 169, so one naughty number. Manchester United themselves, though, still under Eddie Howe, has won the UEFA Conference League. I mean, Man United fans can dream, right? 4th in the Premier League, though. 4th in the Premier League. We haven't necessarily looked at this a lot, to be honest. Spurs, 6th place this season. So, with Luis Enrique still in charge, winning absolutely nothing, they were in the Champions League, so they did better in previous seasons. He has kept his spot, stopping these shots. 50 appearances there, you can see. He has made 27 England caps. So clearly, the England manager, and I don't know how to to see who it is anymore because of the thing not being on there I don't really know, to be honest. It might be here somewhere, but because of the game not having international football, I don't know whether I can find it unless I'm actually on the manager itself. But McStopping these shots, being the Spurs #1 for a long time, obviously he started in Indonesia, he has actually made the better start here. I don't think they've won as many things. I mean, the UEFA Conference League is not exactly a trophy to write home to mum about and say, I've won this, my brother hasn't. She'd be like, great, not even the Europa League though. So I think, yeah, his brother might make a claim that, I mean, McStopping these shots might make a claim that he has had the best start, despite coming from Indonesia. Another season goes by, and a great season for McStopping these shots. 16 clean sheets with only 33 goals conceded in that Premier League. Of course, finishing as low as they did with Spurs, a few more caps as well. Under Luis Enrique, has done wonders because they played in the Champions League still, but the FA Cup was won this season. Third in the Premier League as well, but it's behind Manchester United. Eddie Howe still as the manager. No trophies won, however, but second in the league. McSaving these shots with 49 appearances across the whole season. We can see as well his current ability is currently sat at 179. Both the lads are 23 years of age now, so they're getting close to what we would call prime years. Neither of them is really dominating the league that they're in. Of course, Team Awards isn't the only way we're going to judge this. Let's have a quick look at some of the player awards. So the FIFA Best Men's Player, very unlikely a goalkeeper will win this, but Jamal Musiala at Barcelona has just done that. The Ballon d'Or has just been won by Bukayo Saka. Even Elise has won it previously, with Kylian Mbappe and Yamal sort of winning it at the early years. But there is a World Golden Glove, that's the female one, sorry. The Best Men's Goalkeeper Award. This is the one I'm looking for. Joan Garcia has just won it at Barcelona, which kind of makes sense if Jamal Musiala is also winning the other award. But Donnarumma has been winning it quite a lot. 4 times, with Diogo Costa at Arsenal winning it twice as well. Not quite the names I was hoping to see there. No D's shots in there whatsoever just yet. I am kind of liking the fact that these guys are battling almost at like very similar teams. I don't know like how we've managed to pull this off. I don't know, but at Spurs, second place this season. However, a Champions League win under Luis Enrique, which is exactly what we want to see. So, I mean, again, the guy who started off at Indonesia having an unbelievable start, because even if his brother won the Premier League, he's gone, well, I've won the Champions League. So, I mean, that's better. But the Premier League, it was won by his brother as well. Of course it was. Of course it... Unless he's moved. Although, I do think... I mean, he's won the most clean sheets, the guy at Spurs, McStopping. I should have made the names very different, but I thought they were funny names. Got him! He's won a treble. So they have, like, completely won everything that they could. The Champions League was won by the guy at Spurs. The one at Manchester United has won the Premier League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup under Eddie Howe. I mean, this is quite phenomenal, really. McSaving these shots, 54 games. There we go. Oh, he looks absolutely mint as well. He looks fantastic. He's up to 187. So, 187. Let's see where his brother is sort of laying with the attribute or the current bit. He's 200. So he is actually at the maximum, which doesn't look that impressive, but I guess a lot of it has gone to the mental attributes, the concentration, the decisions of 20, position of 20. Well, you look at it like that, all right, maybe. His handling and kicking and etc. is not that good. His reflexes are only 15, but when you got that many 20s on there, he's probably still a better goalkeeper. However, they're still not picking up the FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper Award, but I did miss the Yashin Trophy, which I think is the equivalent of the Ballon d'Or in terms of goalkeepers, and the Real Madrid goalkeeper has just won it, which is alarming because, again, he is just a new gen as well, from Denmark, 25 years of age, which means he's going to have to compete with them for quite the rest of their career. 170 current ability, but that's his maximum, and he's winning that award over the two lads that have done very well this season and are far above him current ability-wise. Although thinking on it, what they'll get the award for this season will be at the end of this year. So the fact that he won the Champions League and, of course, the other guy won the treble will account for this year's voting. So if they win it next year, that's probably the reason why. It's another season under Luis Enrique. However, no trophies won this year outside of Super Cups and Community Shields. A second place finish, and again, it's behind Eddie Howe's Manchester United, who won the treble first two seasons in a row. Didn't win the Champions League though, but won that domestic treble 2 seasons in a row with saving these shots as his main goalkeeper. So has he started to climb and catch his brother? 194 current ability, so he is just getting better and better. And I would say he actually looks better than his brother. I think the comparison there compared to his brother is night and day when you look at, obviously, the goalkeeping part of his attributes. Yes, the mentals are there for stopping these shots, who has still played more career caps for England, but obviously starting off in Indonesia, he has had a bit of a disadvantage. He has still kind of had a better time, really. It's all the awards, though. The awards. That's what we want to see with the fact that they did so well last year. Let's have a look then at the Yashin Award. And it's stopping these shots, the Champions League winner, who has picked up the first Yashin Award between the two of them. And the FIFA men's goalkeeper, he has also picked that up too. So his brother might be winning trebles, but he's picking up the individual awards. Well, his brother, after winning another treble, win it this season though. The development looks really good. He is now up to 199 current ability. So he is just 1 current ability away from his brother. And we can start to see the 20s as well, which I think, again, I'll say it again, makes him look like a better player than his brother. Still under Eddie Howe, 1-0 this season though. 3rd in the Premier League, and Spurs have won it. Spurs under Luis Enrique have won the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Community Shield this season, and will be playing in the Club World Cup too. And his brother, stopping these shots, has done it exceptionally well club-wise. He is, of course, at 200 current ability. What about that award, though? Did his brother, after winning domestic treble last season, win the Yashin Trophy? No! Lucas Chevalier has picked it up, and the best men's goalkeeper goes to a Juventus goalkeeper in Maxime Peyrot. So a Belgian 26-year-old goalkeeper. Again, does look quite good. Only 5'10", area reach isn't quite there. Nowhere near the towering 6'7" twins. Really confused because I came back the following season and I thought, I thought it was the other way around. And then I realised Eddie Howe has took Luis Enrique's job at Spurs. Eddie Howe. From Manchester United to Spurs, they are in their own little battle. So Eddie Howe, as the new Spurs manager, has also done really well because they won the Champions League, beating Juve in the final. So that's 2 Champions Leagues for Spurs, which is great. Now, stopping these shots is kind of their key player in behind this. So that's really good. 12 clean sheets still. It's not a lot, really, is it? Because in the Premier League, they finished in 5th. So they're very lucky that they actually managed to win the Champions League, because a 5th place finish is not great, while his brother is lifting the Premier League title at a canter. 19 points ahead of rivals Manchester City. Didn't win anything else, though, with Thomas Tuchel in charge. What? This is crazy. So, lots of changes have been happening. Luis Enrique out the door. Sacked? Probably. We'll have a look. But his brother looks absolutely phenomenal. So, let's have a look then, basically, quickly at the Spurs managerial appointments and why that's happened. So he left the manager role after 6 years and 1 day to become the Newcastle manager. Eddie Howe's old job. You couldn't write it. Managers on this create the best stories, I swear. But he has had a weird career, Luis Enrique. Okay, Ballon d'Or. To go and have a look at the goalkeeping versions, but I'll always check the Ballon d'Or as well, because you just never know. Desiree Doué, Jude Bellingham. Oh, Declare. I've never heard of. So that looks like quite a good new gen. All right, let's see then. The Yashin Trophy. McStoppin is back. McStoppin at Spurs is back with the Yashin Trophy. Not the best men's. However, he did finish in 2nd place for that. So his brother's still yet to win a single award, but he's picking up loads of Premier Leagues. The following season was a bad one for both players, though. No trophies whatsoever for Manchester United outside of the Community Shield. A 4th place finish in the Premier League. Spurs finishing in 2nd, but again, no trophies for them under Eddie Howe. Another runners-up position for McStopping these shots at Spurs for the Yashin Trophy, and the best men's goalkeeper was awarded to him for the second time. The season after, we're starting to see some stagnation under Eddie Howe at Spurs. Just a second place finish, but no trophies won again for McStopping these shots. Unfortunately for him, no trophies for a long time. 107 England caps, so I'm sure he won't be too mad about. However, his brother, still at Manchester United, yeah, again, looks really good. Only 4 caps for England, however. But under Thomas Tuchel, a Premier League title win, which is great stuff. But again, it's not exactly remarkable. If we're taking a look at the player awards, still, the Yashin Trophy goes to Barcelona's goalkeeper, Cesar, who isn't exactly great. And if we're looking at the best men's goalkeeper, it goes to Bayern Munich's goalkeeper, Antonio Carlos. And neither lads finish runners-up in either of those positions. 1 year later, in 2041, McSavin these shots and Thomas Tuchel picked up 2 trophies, including both the Premier League and the Champions League, defeating Barcelona in the final, which is absolutely amazing. No trophies for his brother, however, who is still at Spurs and still under Eddie Howe. The Ballon d'Or was won by Kevin Van Driel of Real Madrid, but the Yashin Trophy once again went to McStopping these shots, despite not winning anything for quite a long time. But the best men's goalkeeper went to the Juve goalkeeper again. So I'm finding this quite interesting because, in my opinion now, McSavin these shots at Manchester United has had a better career. He's won way more Premier Leagues. He's now also won the Champions League, where his brother won 2. He hasn't had as many games for England, but I think he's won more trophies overall and had the better career. And yet he's not won a single award for the individual award, the goalkeeping awards. His brother's picked up quite a few. He hasn't won any. Now, in my opinion, I think that's an absolute disgrace. Just like the 40% of people who watched these videos in the last 28 days who haven't subscribed yet. Let's change that, shall we? Oh, what's this? Both Manchester United and Spurs have vacant manager roles. However, McStopping these shots is not even at Spurs anymore. He's a Barcelona player. Unbelievable. He made the move last season for £115 million. Wow. 15 clean sheets in 38 appearances. He is now at Barcelona under Marco Rose. Failed to win a single trophy. Not even La Liga. Real Madrid won that by 3 points. His brother still at Manchester United for now. Still at Manchester United with no manager. So you imagine they've had a bad season there. They've won the Carabao Cup. But yeah, I'm guessing the manager got sacked. Was Hertzler. So Thomas Tuchel left the role at the end of the season to become the Juve manager. Hertzler became the manager and got sacked despite winning technically 3 cups, which was the Super Cup, Intercontinental Championship Cup and the Carabao Cup, and still got himself sacked. Kind of harsh in a way. But Manchester United, they got some big ambitions at the minute. They should be finishing top of the Premier League, and he wasn't doing it for them. Now, technically, he couldn't have asked for a better manager to come in and take charge of Manchester United, because Marc-Andre ter Stegen, a very good manager and an unbelievable goalkeeper, took over the role as Manchester United manager the following season. However, they still won no trophies and finished second place to Manchester City, behind them by 12 points. In Barcelona, however, McStopping these shots under Marco Rose finally won a La Liga trophy, or a trophy in general, picking up the La Liga trophy. But again, by 21 points as well. So quite a big gap there to Real Madrid, who's had a really bad season. And McStopping these shots has had a wonderful time in Barcelona. It's also 2 years in a row that Francesco Amoruso has picked up the Best FIFA Men's Goalkeeper Award without either of the twins being in the top 3. He is a fantastic goalkeeper there at PSG. But the Yashin Award, again, 2 years in a row, and Francesco Amoruso won this year, but McStopping these shots at Barcelona did finish runners-up there. It's a good year for McSavin these shots, though, at Manchester United, because under Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who stuck around, kept his job, Premier League win and a Champions League win. Very good. Beating Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League. So that's 2 Champions League trophies that he has now won. His brother, though, still at Barcelona, doing very well, as we remember, dropped down into 3rd place. Did win a Copa del Rey, But a third place finish, Marco Rose? Come on. Athletic Bilbao. They can't even sign players. They finished above you. I think he needs to be sacked. If we're looking at McStopping these shots, he needs a better coach in charge to, of course, go on to win other things, because they're 33 years of age now. Although he has got a 17 natural fitness, the decline will start happening rather soon, and I still think his brother has one more in the world of football. Big news, because McSaving these shots is leaving the club. Let's take a look at how he's done, though, in his final season under Marc-Andre ter Stegen, because it is a full-blown treble. The Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the good treble. Marc-Andre ter Stegen has turned Manchester United into an unbelievable club, and McSaving these shots has been a huge part of it. That's incredible. Where he's going, though, is so funny. But anyway, his brother, still at Barcelona. How is he doing? He isn't leaving, 34 years of age. It's still Marco Rose. They are playing in the Club World Cup. Now, the Club World Cup, we haven't mentioned it, to be honest. Spurs did win it previously, which means he won it at his former club before he moved there, 2037, because I think he was still at, if I'm remembering it correctly, I think he was still at Spurs in 2037. I don't think he moved until after. So yes, he did win the Club World Cup there. So that's another thing we need to remember, because it's hard to see that when you go on to the next page. But yeah, no other trophies other than that. We're going to take a look at where he goes, don't worry. But the Ballon d'Or, won by 2 Manchester City players in a row. Well, actually, that's the FIFA Best Men's Player. Oh, that guy's won it 3 years in a row, actually. The Yashin Trophy. McSaving these shots won it last season. Very good. However, Amat Mohamed has won it from Inter Milan this year. Does look really good as a goalkeeper. So another goalkeeper that they got to contend with. I swear the goalkeepers are never this good when I'm looking for them. And he has also won the FIFA Men's Goalkeeper. And neither of, actually, McSaving these shots at Manchester United is in third place. So where is he going? At the age of 34, the model professional goalkeeper under Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who just got a treble, is off to Real Madrid. He's going to Real Madrid. He is joining the La Liga with Real Madrid under Xabi Alonso still. He has been the manager for 20 years. Oh my God. I feel like he never leaves. It's ridiculous. But their current goalkeeper is Peyrot, who was, of course, the goalkeeper that caused him a lot of trouble when he was at Juve, I think. Yeah. He moved for £96 million. Now they're getting another good goalkeeper on a free transfer. I don't know whether he's going to play any games. Well, the first race between the two goalkeepers, and neither of them have actually won La Liga. Villarreal have won La Liga by a point above Real Madrid, while Barcelona failed to even get close to them, 8 points behind. However, Real Madrid in second place, still under Xabi Alonso, did in fact play McSaving these shots as their main goalkeeper. 55 games he played. They also sold the goalkeeper that was there previously, so that was very good. And if we're looking at Real Madrid in general, they also won the Copa del Rey. They did not win the Champions League, however. That was won by PSG. So if we're looking at Barcelona, they failed to win anything this season, despite, of course, having one of the best goalkeepers in the world, finishing in third place. They are now looking for a new manager, which is, of course, not really surprising. The following season, thankfully, we actually had a bit of a title race between the two clubs. Real Madrid have picked it up, though, but the lads are now 36. This is roughly where goalkeepers decide to pack it all in, or hang the gloves up, as you would. Now, the Real Madrid manager is still Xabi Alonso. They have also won the Copa del Rey, so they have dominated Spain this season, with McSaving these shots being their main goalkeeper. There 37 games he played as the goalkeeper, so he only missed one game in total, still the number one. But the Barcelona new manager is, of course, Vincent Kompany, or as he's known on FM26, Ronnie. Now, Ronnie, or Vincent, has done terrible in his first season, let's face it, because he's won absolutely naff. And goalkeeper-wise, he is still playing McStopping these shots at age 36. He has got 131 caps. He is doing really well. But we can start to see the bit of decline already. 176 current ability for McStopping. And if we're looking at his brother, because I haven't got like fixed attributes on or anything like that, I decided to let it go. He has dropped down to 174. So I'm guessing also this might be the last time that we ever really stand a chance of winning these trophies. So the Yashin Trophy has been dominated by Ahmad Mohammed, who's very good goalkeeper, but yeah, it's a shame because he will drop off quite quick with that 12 natural fitness. And then here, the best men's goalkeeper was won again by Francesco Amoruso, who had 2 years off, picked it back up again. So I don't think, oh God, look how good he is. I don't think the lads will be winning any more of the individual awards. It's down to what they can win in their final years at the club. Wrong, and the dreaded 3 letters have appeared. Ret, meaning retiring. McStopping these shots at Barcelona is retiring at age 37. You can see the drop-off already from Barcelona. Second place again, unfortunately, for McStopping. Real Madrid have won the league under Xabi Alonso, the La Liga, but they haven't won anything else. So when these lads moved to Spain, they basically didn't really do anything in Europe. They had a lot better time there outside of Europe. But his brother is also retiring too. What a lovely, like, they started their careers. I mean, he looks way better compared to his brother at this point. They started their careers at the same time. They're finishing their careers at the same time. But who had the better career? That's the question I want to pick to you right now, because the YouTube quiz thing that you can do, I'm going to give my answer, who I think, because it has to be some sort of like quiz. So I think I have to give an actual answer. So when you predict who you think had a better career, I will obviously, by selecting that, I will obviously reveal who I think I had, who I think had the better career. But let's sort of refresh ourselves. So McSaving these shots was the guy at Manchester United. Had a couple of loan spells, Wrexham, Nottingham Forest. Took a long time to get into first team football, remember, but finally started playing in 2032. Eventually started winning things. But the Spurs spell for his brother was quite impressive, wasn't it? He was the first one to win the Champions League, so we need to remember that. I've gone to the wrong one. I've gone to the wrong brother. McStopping these shots, the Barcelona one, who started off in Indonesia, moved to Spurs and became the first choice goalkeeper in 2032. So he had a very good career before moving to Barcelona for £115 million. His brother moved on a free transfer. He moved for £115 million. So he actually had some transfer fees. His brother didn't. In terms of the awards, just to remind you of that as well, so a refresh before you decide to pick your winner, the best men's goalkeeper was won by McStopping these shots once, twice, not by his brother. The Yashin Trophy was won by his brother once, however, he won it 3 times. So he definitely won more awards in terms of personal awards, but his brother did quite well at Manchester United at the back end of his spell there. Let me know your thoughts. I'll put up the quiz right now. Pick your winner and you'll reveal who I decided I think had the better career out of McSaving or McStopping. Thank you very much for watching. On screen right now is a video I did very similar to this, but with 2 managers. And oh my God, the fun we had, the stories, the comments that we were getting about people saying, I didn't think I'd click this video because it didn't look interesting. I'm so glad I did. Find out why.